Okay, so I'm continuing on my 61 Days of Halloween review series, starting from now till the end of the October month. I won't be reviewing horror movies for all of October. I'll be more just taking a handful of horror films that I haven't seen and that are first viewings for me, and I will be reviewing them on my channel. And what not a better time than to talk about the VHS franchise, because this is my first viewing. I've never seen these movies before. Like, I have seen them brought up in the horror community, and for the most part, like, I've heard really positive feedback about this franchise. And plus, on top of that, they have a new movie, VHS 94, coming out in October 6th, and that's why I am covering this entire franchise, the first VHS through to VHS Viral, and then to top it off, I will be reviewing VHS 94. And so yeah, I feel like these movies so far. I don't think the first VHS movie is great by any means. There were a few problems I did have with it if you saw my review of it, mainly with the characters and some dialogue and the runtime of that movie. But for the most part, like, I thought the first movie was an effective found footage horror film. And now jumping into VHS 2, a lot of people seem to prefer the first movie over the second, but for myself, like, fuck it, like, I enjoyed the shit out of VHS 2. I thought this movie was so much better than the first, for a couple of reasons which I will talk about. One being that this movie has a more tight and compact runtime of exactly 94 minutes, and the first movie landed in at 2 hours. And I think VHS 2, I think this movie definitely does benefit from a shorter runtime, because I thought it had a very consistent pace. I thought it jumped from story to story in a really consistent and fast-paced way. Like, there were a few dull moments, there were a few slow moments, throughout the film. But for the most part, I think 94 minutes. I think this franchise being 90 minutes, I think it allows them. I think it allows them to do more with the pacing. Because that was the thing I wasn't 100% sold on with the first film, is I felt like it dragged on, especially towards the end. But this film, there were, like I said, there were a few dull moments, but I thought it really benefited from that shorter runtime. And another thing I really liked about this movie that I prefer over the first movie is the stories. As much as the first film had amazing and effective and frightening stories in it, VHS 2, I think it has probably the most memorable stories out of this entire franchise. Probably my favorite being the biker zombies. I don't know what that story segment is called, but if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. That one was probably my favorite, because I thought that had a great mixture of comedy and horror, and that's with all of these stories in VHS 2. I think VHS 2 has the perfect balance of horror and comedy, because there are some stories in this that are definitely made to scare the audience, and then there are some that are more made for the comedic value, and even in between, there were some great comedy moments in here. And this film also introduced, I guess, the first person perspective, and I loved what they did with the first person perspective. And it's used constantly throughout this movie, and I thought it was a really effective way to engage its audience. And I thought, like, at least for myself, it really immersed me into those stories. Which I really dug, especially the biker zombies one, which is by far my favorite. It was the most thrilling, it was the most intense, and it was the most entertaining story, I think, out of all of them. But yeah, I thought this movie, I thought it was a lot more thrilling. There was a lot more. It was definitely a lot more. I guess it was a lot more action focused. There were some stories that I thought had a slow start, but then when I saw where that slow burn pace was going, and what the payoff to it was going to be, I really enjoyed it. I think the movie has a great blood and gore. I think there's some great prosthetics. There's some great gore makeup on display in a lot of these stories. There's one story in particular which deals with a cult, which I loved everything about that. Like I thought it was really bloody fun. I thought it had a great. It had a great intense build up, and then I thought the payoff was even more intense and thrilling. But yeah, like these stories, I thought were so well directed. But yeah, it's just I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this movie, and another thing I felt like this movie did better over the second is this movie actually has likable characters. Like putting aside our main characters, which are kind of dicks. Um, like putting them aside, like the characters in the stories themselves, I thought like I was I didn't think deserved to die. Like for example, the biker zombies one, like like that guy, he was just trying to to be a good citizen and help other people. Like they're the type of characters which, like, even though there's very little characterization given to him, like I can sympathize with him, like on a human level. But then on the other hand, the first movie, like all of its characters like were dickheads. Like there was nothing likable about them, and so I think that is definitely an improvement in VHS two, than VHS one. But yeah, I really enjoyed VHS 2. I did not expect this film to be as good as it was. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. If you guys have seen VHS 2, let me know down in the comments. What did you think of it? Did you like it? Did you think it was mad, or did you really not like it? Let me know all your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section down below. So anyways, guys, you have a good rest of your day, evening, or night, wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next video. Alright, bye.